Manchester United saw some pressure eased when they beat Chelsea 2-1 in the Premier League last weekend. Ruben Amorim's side used their early man advantage to take a 2-0 lead, and the sending off of Casemiro didn't affect them after that point. Although Chelsea did make a strong effort to make a comeback in the second half, they only managed to put one past Bayender. Amorim was under huge pressure coming into the game, and he would have been glad to see his side beat a top side. Now, as per Caught Offside, Manchester United are among the clubs that are keeping tabs on Real Madrid midfielder Eduardo Camavinga. The Frenchman is just making a recovery from an injury and hasn't featured much under Xabi Alonso and his absence. The likes of Tchouaméni and Valverde have nailed down their spots in Alonso's team, and the emergence of Carreras at left-back has put Camavinga's future in doubt. This has piqued interest from clubs like Chelsea, Manchester United and Newcastle United. Camavinga is still just 22 years old and valued at around £69.6 million. He has sky-high potential, and any club that signs him would be getting a player who would be able to define the midfield area for a decade if not more. Man United have been struggling significantly with their midfield options. Bruno Fernandes is locked in for one of the roles, but with Casemiro being hit or miss, and Manuel Ugarte struggling, there aren't many options that Amorim can turn to. Camavinga is versatile and can play both as a defensive and an offensive midfielder. He has the engine to get up and down the pitch in Amorim's system, and could be the perfect foil to Captain Bruno and his calmness on the ball. Ultimately, it would be a huge surprise to see the Frenchman leave Real Madrid, but if he does, Man United need to be all over it. Let's wait and see how the negotiations play out on this front. If it gets to that, signing sufficed last summer, it will not be enough next year. Casemiro is likely to leave as a free agent. His departure, coupled with the existing need, means Ineos must secure at least two top midfield signings in 2026. This glaring gap should have United being linked with almost every top midfielder on the market. Well, the other day, a report relayed by the People's Person suggested United could be back in for Eduardo Camavinga, Frenchman adored at the Theatre of Dreams. The Red Devils have long admired the Frenchman, tracking him since his days at Rennes. When he joined Real Madrid in 2021, it must have left United frustrated. But recently, hope resurfaced that they might finally land their man. Real Madrid head coach Xabi Alonso appears to favor a midfield trio of Aurelien Tchouaméni, Federico Valverde and Arda Güler. With Jude Bellingham and Franco Mastantuono also seen as key options, speculation began to swirl that Camavinga might not feature in Alonso's plans. United were tipped to exploit these doubts over Camavinga's future in Madrid and bring him on board. While for some this was shaping up to be a transfer to watch, a telling revelation about Camavinga's future has since emerged. As if spooked by the Camavinga exit rumors, Alonso addressed the midfielder's role via Madrid's official website. "I'm excited because he hasn't been with us for so long. I know him from having seen him play, but I'm looking forward to working with him. I think he has huge potential and lots of qualities. Within the collective project there are individual projects and he's one of them. What he's done so far is important, but he still has a long way to go. He's eager and motivated. Individually, he has very different qualities. From the sixth position with his dribbling, he can get into the final third. He's not static, he's dynamic." His absence from the lineups was not due to a selection preference, but rather the injury he has been nursing since last season. There is no doubt Camavinga could be a dream addition to United's engine room, but prizing him away will be a challenge. Reports suggest that Los Blancos are one of those clubs keen on Manu. United could propose a Manu-Camavinga swap, rather than the rumored Manu-Valverde deal. But even if they do, Camavinga must also want the move. Whether the 22-year-old relishes a switch to Old Trafford remains a mystery. Real Madrid midfielder Eduardo Camavinga has been linked with a move away from the club, and Manchester United are one of the clubs keen on him. He has shown his quality in La Liga with Real Madrid, and there is no doubt that he has the physicality and technical attributes to do well in the Premier League. He has been labeled as a special player with extraordinary qualities by Carlo Ancelotti. There is no doubt that Camavinga would be an exceptional acquisition for Manchester United. It will be interesting to see if the Red Devils can get the deal done. They have the resources to pay the reported asking price, and they need a quality midfielder. They have not been able to control games in the middle of the park, and the 22-year-old will certainly help. The opportunity to move to the Premier League can be quite exciting for most players. and it remains to be seen whether Camavinga is open to the move. He is not one of the first names on the team sheet, and Real Madrid could be tempted to sell him if a lucrative proposal is presented. The Red Devils have been long-term admirers. However, it is fair to assume that Manchester United might have to secure Champions League football to attract players of his quality. The 22-year-old will want to compete at the highest level and fight for major trophies regularly. Manchester United needs to reach a level where they will be able to fulfill his ambitions. Chelsea or Newcastle could be an attractive destination for the midfielder as well. Both clubs are competing in the Champions League this season. Chelsea need another quality midfielder to complete their midfield unit, and the Frenchman could be the ideal acquisition alongside Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo. It's no surprise that Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim aimed to bring a new midfielder to the club in the summer transfer window, and it will be a key area of importance for the Red Devils in windows to come. Reports have since touted them with the move for Eduardo Camavinga from Real Madrid, and it's a deal that the Red Devils should look towards as a priority in what would be one of their best signings in years. The report by Caught Offside states that United are interested in a potential transfer for Camavinga, who has been priced at around €80 million, £68 million. The Frenchman, who is capable of playing in a holding role or at left back, now has doubts over his future at the Santiago Bernabéu according to the report. Although the Frenchman isn't necessarily headed for the exit immediately, his situation has changed amid the switch from Carlo Ancelotti to Xabi Alonso in the dugout, and minutes have dwindled for the Frenchman. That has put United on alert, and they are thought to have concrete and genuine interest in the £260,000 a week French star. Camavinga has only made 1 minute of appearances this season owing to an ankle injury, and with Madrid winning all 5 of their La Liga games, he might find it tough to get past Fede Valverde, Aurelien Tchouaméni, Jude Bellingham and Arda Güler in the pecking order with minutes needed for his development. For United, that could open up an immense opportunity. They've made some good signings down the years, but recently recruitment has been a bit lacking. Their last top-class signing was the arrival of Bruno Fernandes in January 2020, and although some good signings have made their ranks in the likes of Noussair Mazraoui, Matthijs de Ligt, Lenny Yoro and Amad Diallo, none have been exceptional just yet. Other than Fernandes, Camavinga would surely change that. Only 22, he already has 269 first-team appearances at club level for both Rennes and Real Madrid, where he has won 2 La Liga titles, a Copa del Rey, 2 Champions League titles and multiple Super Cups in the process, as well as playing in the World Cup final in the penalty shootout loss to Argentina. Camavinga would come into the United midfield alongside Bruno Fernandes, who has had a rebirth in the center of the park, as opposed to his typical role in the number 10 slot. With creativity, physicality, pace and a world-class tactical brain, he would be the perfect foil for Amorim's side to play to their best, especially alongside the Portuguese maestro. The Red Devils have been linked with Brighton star Carlos Baleba and Crystal Palace talent Adam Wharton to come into their midfield alongside Fernandes, but the duo have been rated at £100 million, and if Camavinga is available for cheaper, it would be a no-brainer to bring him into their ranks thanks to his age, experience and ability.